Hey there, this is Michael with the general reading intended for Capricorn Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus for July 2020. I do hope that this video finds you well. July is actually going to be a pretty big month for you, Capricorn. Astrologically, we have a lot of karmic return coming in for you, which actually could be to your benefit. It might be a bit of a mixed bag, though, to be honest. Whenever you have an eclipse in your sign, which is going to be happening on the 5th, especially a lunar eclipse, there could be some pretty dramatic endings, there could be some culminations of things, kind of a sense of completion in a way. And you have a lot of energy in your sign in general because we have a few of the outer planets. We have Jupiter, we have Pluto, and now Saturn all back in your sign again. And you were kind of going through a lot of hard lessons in the past couple of years, and I think you might actually start to be seeing some fruits from all of that. Just kind of putting that out there. I'm going to be curious to see what the cards have to say about that. But this is going to be a pretty significant month for you, especially with it also being Cancer season, your opposite sign. It's going to also have some ramifications for your relationships and the way that you approach relationships and partnership. There could be a big emphasis on that. And I'm not going to lie, there might even be a bit of tension because these energies are opposing each other right now with all the planets in the opposite signs. So it's going to make for kind of an interesting month. Before we dive into the cards though, I do just want to thank all of you who have supported this channel with your likes, shares, comments, and subscribes. It's with all of your support that I'm able to continue doing this work, sharing these messages, and it's really just been such a gift to be able to do that, so thank you so much. I do have all of my links down below. I actually do have an astrology blog for those of you who are interested in learning more about the astrology for the month, kind of for the collective here. And I also have links for personal readings and Reiki sessions, as well as all my social media where I post updates, general card readings, and occasionally even host giveaways and discounts. So it always is nice to follow me on there so you're just on the radar. And I think that's pretty much everything. I am going to shuffle for you, and as I'm doing that, I'm just going to kind of clear the deck and give my disclaimer that this is a general reading, meaning not all of the messages that come forward are going to be meant for everybody. It is up to your own intuition and discernment to figure out what messages apply to your own life and what should be left behind for somebody else. And if this video just doesn't resonate very strongly, or you'd like some more clarity on another area of your life, it might be helpful to look at the videos for your moon, rising, or Venus signs, which are all in the July 2020 playlist on my channel. And I have a natal chart calculator down below that can help you figure out all your other placements if you don't know what I'm talking about, or you don't know what those are and you need the reminder. So we already have a few cards here. I love it. So the first card that comes out for you is this Two of Swords. And why I think this is so funny is I always notice the eclipse here. Of course, this is a solar eclipse, and you are experiencing a lunar eclipse in your sign. But I think it's just interesting because it is like something is being blocked. And maybe it's been blocked. So the cards on the table here are kind of interesting because this Two of Swords did come out with the Empress. And it's almost like this Empress energy is blocked off, which is this abundance, which is this new beginning, this fertile ground, this beauty, this love, this connection. You also do have the Sun, but there is this Five of Wands here. And again, it almost feels like the Sun is being a little bit obscured. So there is this theme of things not necessarily being very clear. You might not be seeing the whole picture at the start of July. We do have Mercury retrograde, and it is retrograding in your 7th house. So this could be in a romantic relationship for you, or another close or intimate relationship where there's kind of this blind spot. And there could even be this conflict that's happening, or this kind of someone just being very guarded. with the Two of Swords. You could be dealing with a Libra or Taurus with this Empress energy. I could also see Leo. Doesn't have to be these zodiac signs, but these are just energies that are coming forward right now. And it's like, it's this interesting tug of war. And I actually wrote a lot about this in the astrology blog, so this seems really relevant. It's like, I feel like there's this step forward and then there's a step back. And that's kind of the energy for you for the first half of July here, so far. Let's pull a little more and see what we get. But I feel like this is more a delay. I feel like there still should be some sign of something coming to fruition for you, or some sort of blessing on the way. Right as I say that, the Wheel of Fortune pops out. So there is something that's turning over, but it's like there's something that's still, that needs to be dislodged energetically, or in your reality. Something that's kind of preventing something right away, but something is turning. You're seeing something change here with this Wheel of Fortune. And sometimes the Wheel of Fortune can be a wild ride. Because even though you may have luck and even destiny on your side, there's this element of things being a little beyond your control. Especially if there's other people who are fighting, or have different opinions than you do. You can't control their reaction. And I think in July, there's going to be a lot of seeing people's true colors. I kind of wrote about this, or I briefly mentioned that in the blog, especially when we're in Leo season, so towards the end of July. But you might be seeing people's true nature through conflict. I actually think for 2020, that's kind of a big theme, right? People's true values are being revealed right now. And you do have the Scorpion as kind of animal wisdom here. There may be someone who says something that kind of hurts. There might be a stinging remark. Kind of just this acidic energy, really. Could be a Sagittarius energy. I obviously could see Scorpio energy here too with the Scorpion, but we have the Wheel of Fortune as Sagittarius. There's definitely something that does need to be addressed. Because Scorpion, it's like, I'm kind of getting the image of how Scorpions will sometimes like hide in your boot. And you have to check your boots before you put them on, or you might be in for a very unpleasant surprise. And if you're kind of not being careful, or if you're kind of sensing that there's this weird tension, or you're just not being careful with the way you're expressing yourself around certain people, you might get this sort of reaction. There might be this conflict. It doesn't feel like the end of the world, though. I feel like things are actually looking really good for you personally. And I want you to really think about the past few years. What have you been sowing? Because with Saturn returning to your sign one last time, Saturn is karma. And there's almost this karmic return or payout. And some of you may have been working very hard on something, or things seem to be going well right before the pandemic when Saturn entered Aquarius. But now that it's going retrograde, there might be a blessing for you. And honestly, Capricorn, you might be a little bit alone in this. I'm going to be real. But this could actually be a pretty positive month for you. I know for a lot of people, there seems to be a lot of setbacks. And you may experience that to some degree. But I think, you know, when we're looking at the cards here, it's like, It's the Two of Swords blocking the Empress. It's the Five of Wands blocking the Sun. It's minor arcana that are trying to get in the way of this major arcana, this trump card. And you have a lot of major arcana here. You have the Empress, you have the Sun, you have the Wheel of Fortune. There is a big boon for you. And it actually feels material. But again, with this Mercury retrograde, you might not be seeing this right away, or you might not be seeing this clearly. And if there's another person involved here, especially if it's a Libra, Taurus, Leo, Sagittarius, or Scorpio, there might be some conflict, or there might be some big revelation that kind of unsettles that connection for a moment. But I do like this energy overall. I almost wonder if there is someone who's envious or jealous with that Five of Wands and that Scorpion energy. That's kind of coming up. Like something is working out really well for you. There might be a little bit of a delay with it. Maybe that's that sting coming for you. But I really don't feel like it's going to affect you too much. I'm not going to lie. And you know, we were talking about karma, Wheel of Fortune. It's like good karma, karmic blessings coming through for sure. Totally. And you did just have a Pluto-Jupiter conjunction in your sign as well. You came into a lot of power around June 30th. And you might be feeling the influence of that for some time, and we actually have that conjunction one last time in your sign at the end of the year. And I want to say it's like December 19th. Actually, no, I think that's when Saturn enters Aquarius again. So it might be a little bit after that. We'll talk about it when it comes up, don't worry. Very nice. So you have a Two of Wands here so far. Something is really opening up for you, and it's like this delay that was happening. You're seeing new horizons here in the second half of July. You do have the Devil card that's coming up as well, but this is one of your signifier cards, so I actually want to clarify what this is about. I was just going to say, though, with that Pluto and Jupiter conjunction in your sign, it's making a lot of people do things to claim power. And politically right now, with the way the world is, there's a huge power grab that's going on. And it's not just politicians. There are people who are looking at the situations we are in right now and trying to figure out how they can profit from it. And it might not be coming from the right place. We could potentially be seeing like a pretty gross misuse of power in the month of July, I'm not gonna lie. And that might be something that has some sort of impact on you. But honestly, I feel like this is you coming into your power as well. This Devil card is being clarified with the Mother of Wands. Could potentially be a fire sign, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Interesting. I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't sound a little pointed, but this is coming through, so I trust that someone out there needs to hear this. Some of you might be a little too on your high horse. Something might be going well, you might be a little overconfident. Because I wonder if some of you might be defaulting on some old behaviors with this Devil card. And you might get this blessing, and just be very wise with how this is being used. I still feel like you have a lot of power here. And it feels like power you haven't had in a while. Like, it feels really good. It feels really invigorating. But don't let that give you a high. Don't be careless with this. And that could even be because it's upsetting somebody else here. You're still moving on. You're still moving into better and brighter things. You have the Six of Wands with the World. So even with this warning, you have so much that is opening up for you right now. There could be someone kind of returning from the past. I could actually see that, because sometimes the Six of Wands represents like a return from battle or something coming back victoriously. But I do feel like this is kind of just you having this moment in the sun. I really, really like this, but be careful of like who's watching this or what you're doing with this, because I feel like there's a little jab here. A little more. Let's pull another animal card. What is the animal wisdom for Capricorn? The rabbit. I do need to clarify this. Some of you might be looking at moving towards the end of July, or maybe you're moving in July at some point, because we have the Two of Wands, we have the World. Obviously, because of the way the world is right now, that's not going to apply to everybody, or that's going to be to different degrees for people. Some of you might be moving, some of you might be looking at moving, thinking about moving. But I do kind of get that sense. And you also have the Wheel of Fortune as well, which is sometimes a big life change. So that could be happening for you. And some of you might even be getting a promotion of some kind, or getting new work. I'm clarifying this rabbit card with the Emperor. I feel like some of you might actually be intimidated by all this power that you're coming in. Or that someone else might be threatened, so that's kind of freaking you out. Because when I see rabbit, it's like this energy of being paralyzed with fear and feeling like you can't move. But I see a lot of movement, so that's really strange. There's a lot of progress here. And maybe it's not, maybe this movement isn't literal. Maybe you are feeling quite stuck. It's quite likely we are going to be seeing some, lockdowns, or at least some things shutting down in the US, depending on where you are. But I still see this progress. I still see this growth. I still see a lot of expansion for you. And I almost wonder if this devil energy is fear itself. And even if there is something to this kind of like interference or this energy that you're sensing, I don't want you to focus on that. I know I've been talking about it a lot, so that might sound a little counterintuitive. Keep it on your radar, but don't lose sight of the bigger picture of what is going on here for you, because I actually see things really opening up and a lot of beautiful blessings. And that could be in a relationship as well. There's a lot of energy for you in your house of relationships in the sign of Cancer. We do have a new moon on the 20th as well, for those of you who are looking for love, or for those of you who want to really deepen a connection or commitment. That might be a good time to manifest that. But I see so many blessings, and it feels personal, honestly. It feels more like it's about you. Like there's a lot of good things coming for you. I want to pull one more animal. Interesting. So we have the cheetah. Still going for it, and still having this vitality, this energy, moving forward. Some of you may be hesitant to do something. And that could be because of the way things have been occurring in the past. Don't let fear squander all of this for you, though. You can still enjoy it. You can still relax without losing your awareness, without being blindsided. Or risking being blindsided. Because I know the past few years have been pretty challenging for a lot of my Capricorns. But I see so much growth here. And a lot of energy backing this up. And those are all the messages I am getting for you right now, Leo. I do hope that this video was helpful. If you want to hit like and subscribe, that would always be greatly appreciated. And if you'd like to leave a comment letting me know what these blessings are for you, I'm very curious to hear about this. This feels really great. I want you to share. And what it is that you're hoping to manifest as well, because I see a big window for that for you too. I do have links down below for Reiki sessions and personal readings if you're interested in those, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, Capricorn.